Peace to you, brothers and sisters.
Мир вам, братья и сестры.
I got a question for you guys. Do you guys know what your purpose in life is?
У меня есть вопрос к вам, дорогие друзья.
Most people,
Знаете ли вы цель своей жизни во Христе?
most people in this world, they chase money, fame, royalty.
Много людей в своей жизни, они преследуют деньги, славу и уважение.
We all want to be liked and be accepted.
Мы все хотим быть любимыми и допущенными в этой жизни.
But when you follow that, you lose your identity.
Но когда ты продолжаешь следовать этому, ты начинаешь терять свою личность.
We start living for the world and not for God.
Начинаем жить для мира, но не для Бога.
Which this will lead to my first story of the prodigal son.
Это движет нас к первой моей истории о заблудшем сыне.
And it's Luke chapter 15.
Луки 15 глава с 11 по 24 стих.
And he said, there was a man who told two sons, and the younger one of them said to his father, "Father, give me the share of the property in coming to me." And he divided the property between them. Not many days later, the younger son gathered all his money and took a journey into the country. And there he scattered his property in reckless living. And when he spent everything, he served in famine across in the country and began in need. So he went and hired himself out to be a citizen of the country, who sent himself in the fields to feed the pigs. And when he was losing his fed of the pods and the pigs, he ate. When he fed with the pods that the pigs ate, and no one gave him anything. But when he came to himself, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants had more than enough bread, but I perish here with hunger. I will arise and go to my father. I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against you in heaven and before you. I will no longer be worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your hired servants." And he arose and came to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt compassion and ran and embraced him. And I kissed him. And the son said, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." But the father said to his servants, "Bring quickly the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on him, and shoes on his feet, and bring the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and celebrate. For my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost, but now is found." And they began to celebrate.
Говорится о сыне, который ушел от отца, мы уже читали эту историю, и вернулся, и тогда отец его принял после того, как он заблудился.
The son wanted to live his life, have fun, spend money.
Сын хотел прожить свою жизнь, имея наслаждение, тратя свои деньги.
He ended up spending all of his money.
В результате потратил все свои деньги.
He was so hungry that he had to eat with the pigs.
И был настолько голодный, что хотел есть со свиньями.
He had a purpose, but it wasn't for God. It was to live in the world.
Имея цель в жизни, но не для Бога, но для этого мира.
It said when he came to himself. That means when he realized he messed up.
Когда он сказал себе, он понял,
He realized that he lost his identity.
что он потерял свою личность.
He came back to his father not to be a son, but as a servant.
Вернувшись к своему отцу, не как сын, но как слуга.
But his father was so loving, he took him back as a son.
Но, несмотря ни на что, его отец, любя, принял его как сына.
It says, "For my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now is found."
Сказав, что сын мой был мертв и теперь ожил, был потерян и теперь найден.
Just how the son lost his identity is the same how a lot of people nowadays.
Так как сын свой потерял свою личность, так и много людей в это время, в нашем мире.
They just focus on the world.
они фокусируют на свое зрение на мир,
and for many people, that's their purpose.
и для многих людей это цель их жизни.
The average person lives in the United States to 72 years.
В среднем человек живет 72 года в своей жизни.
When you see people say, live life to the fullest, that is simply wrong. It
Когда ты
means,
видишь, люди говорят, что чтобы жить по полной в своей жизни, это является неправильным.
that means live your days like it's the last.
Имеется в виду, чтобы жить своей жизни, свои дни, как будто это последние.
But if it was my last day, I want to go do something extreme. I would, give that day glory to God.
Но если бы это мои были бы последние дни, я бы постарался, чтобы они были потрачены во славу Божью.
A lot of people don't know what their purpose in life is.
И много из людей даже не знают и не понимают, что такое цель жизни.
In Proverbs 19, verse 21, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails.
Притчи 19:21, если можно. Много замыслов в сердце человека, но состоится только определенное Господом.
The lives of men and women are but a vapor. However, God's purpose can be fulfilled.
Жизнь человека или мужчины или женщины является как пар, но Бог является целью.
Throughout multiple generations, we can make our plans and set to seek and accomplish them.
Которая может заполнена в течение многих поколений. Мы можем составлять свои планы и их как бы осуществлять.
But if we don't pray and seek God's direction, we could find ourselves drifting away in the ocean of sin.
Но если мы не молимся и не ищем Бога по направлению к Нему, мы можем оказаться унесенными в сторону.
Every plan should begin and end with God's mind in first.
Каждый план должен начинаться с того, чтобы цель была целеустремленная, мысль целеустремленная к Богу.
So if you don't surrender to Christ, we'll end up surrendering to something. And that could be money, ego, lust, pride.
Если мы не отдадимся Господу, мы отдадимся чему-то другому. Таким вещам, как деньги, эго и как бы гордость.
I would also like to say the story of Saul, which is now named Paul.
Хочу рассказать о Савле, который являлся также Павлом.
And this is Acts chapter 9. But Saul still breathing threats of the murder against the disciples of the Lord, went to the highest priest and asked him for the letters of the synagogues at Damascus, so that if found any belonging the way of men and women, he might bring them to Jerusalem. As he went on his way and approached Damascus, he suddenly saw a light from heaven, and it shone around him, and falling against the ground. He heard a voice saying, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And then said, Who are you, Lord? And he said, I am Jesus, whom you're persecuting. But rise and enter the city, and you will be told what you are to do. The men traveling with him stood speechless, hearing the voice, but seeing no one. Saul rose from the ground, and he saw nothing. So they led him up by his hand and brought him to Damascus. And now 3 days without sight, neither ate nor drank. Now there was a disciple at Damascus named Aeneas, and the Lord said to him in a vision, Aeneas, he said, Here I am, Lord. And he said, Lord said to him, Rise and go to the street called Straight, and in the house of Judas look for a man of Tarsus named Saul. Behold, he is praying, and he has seen the vision of a man named Aeneas come and lay his hands upon lay his hands on him, and so that he may regain his sight. But Aeneas answered, Lord, I have heard from many about this man. How much evil has he done to your saints in Jerusalem? And here's his authority from the chief priest to blind all and call your name. The Lord said to him, go and chosen the instrument of my carry. I'm reading too much.
Деяния 9 глава, в нескольких словах, с 3 по 12 стих, прочитав о том, что Савл или Павел пришел первосвященником, взял письма для того, чтобы гнать всех последователей Христа, и ему встречается Господь на пути, и как бы он падает на свои колени, ослепленный, и Бог, и Господь ему говорит, что делать и куда идти.
Saul was a man, he would persecute Christians, the Lord's followers.
Саул был человеком, который старался преследовать тех людей, которые следовали за Христом.
Before Saul lost his vision, his purpose in life was to persecute Christians
До
and
того,
God.
как он потерял свое зрение, его цель в жизни была преследовать христиан и тех, кому следовали.
And when Jesus came to himself, he understood that he was the Lord, and he understood what he did was wrong.
И когда Христос появился в его жизни, он понял, кто такой Иисус, и понял, что ему нужно дальше делать в его жизни.
And after this, he changed his name to Paul and was a God-fearing man.
И даже после этого он поменял свое имя и был как бы богобоязненным человеком.
He wrote 12 books in the Bible, which is the most written out of anyone in the Bible.
Написав 12 книг в Библии, которые были более прочитываемы за все время.
And everything that he did for the glory of God.
И все, что он делал для славы Божьей.
And this is a man that we can all relate to.
И это является тот человек, который может быть как бы отнесен к нам.
Just remember before we got saved.
Вспомните, когда мы были прощены,
Our mindset was different.
наши мысли, они были другими.
But when Jesus comes into our life, it's a true blessing.
Но когда Иисус приходит в нашу жизнь, это по-настоящему является благословением.
So I just want to tell you too, especially the pre-youth.
Хочу сказать вам, особенно для подростков,
If you're struggling with this, I guarantee if you find Christ, you'll find your purpose.
если страдаешь в своей жизни, и ты найдешь Иисуса Христа, ты найдешь свою цель.
Let's pray.
Давайте помолимся.